Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm gonna actually look towards my computer because the audio from last video was, at least some parts were very bad. Because if I need to project my voice towards here, which is where the, I apologize if I don't do eye contact all the time with all of you. But thank you. So maybe I'm gonna speak like this. This I think is much better. Thank you for coming again today. I'm very excited. Week 2, very cool stuff that we'll be doing. I think it's a very powerful technique that I was actually using this week with like someone that needed some help making a gear. So what are we gonna learn today? We're gonna learn how to use the spline tool and how to use pictures in Fusion 360. And ideally, the plan would be to make a topological 3D model, but we'll focus more on the logo keychains. I guess before we start, do you guys have any questions from last week? Well, maybe we'll skip this part, but Goku's always smiling to you, so you can. I thought this was very funny. I was last time I was teaching this class to the undergrads. I was speaking to them about Karate Kid, and Karate Kid. Like if you've seen the 4th one, right? There's like Mr. Han, and I think it's like that is Will Smith kid, right? He's always like pulling the coat and putting it again, like the jacket and whatnot. So doing CAD is the same thing. You like draw a line, you erase the line, you draw the line, you define the line. There's a lot of repetition. And so, that's the key to success. And I thought that was nice, just to mention here. So where are we on our Dragon Ball saga, I suppose, in our adventure? We're done with session 1, that was last week, where we learned how to essentially create sketches, how to go about like adding features, how to color parts. And today we're gonna just add an extra layer of complexity to our learning tools, how to add pictures and do splines. And this little device in here is the Dragon Ball tracker, actually. So if you've seen Dragon Ball, you know that's what Bulma uses to find the Dragon Balls. So right now we are looking for Dragon Ball number 2, the 2-star one. Just some unfortunate piece of news from this week is that the Dragon Ball creator passed away. Very, very sad for all fans. You probably don't understand anything that the one in Spanish says in there, but I can just vaguely translate what it says. Is the characters that Akira Toriyama created, they always transmitted a message of superation, right? That you're constantly seeking your next aspirations, right? And it's served as an inspiration for soccer stars or for fans all around the world. It was very prevalent in Latin America in particular, and obviously in Japan. That's why for me it has a deep place in my heart. But that being said, this is what we're gonna do today. I'll give you a quick snapshot of how this will look like 3D model. For instance, with the Dragon Ball, that is what I want to design with you guys. We'll do that, and then we'll focus on your own individual logos. Then with the map, I was doing this morning. That is really what I would want you to do, and I thought that was pretty cool. But you can take a 2D picture like this one, right? And there's a lot more complicated pictures than this one. This one is the big island in Hawaii, and you can make a nice model like that one. And this time, I did look into the scale. It's funny because, that's 0 to, so that's 5 miles. So I measure that distance in Fusion, and then I know that the distance from here to, or I guess each one of these ISO like contours, they represent 1,000 feet. And so I did the conversion, so that one looks a lot more accurate. That I've done the map like this island thingy like in another software, and I messed up like the dimensions. So this one looks a lot better. So let's focus on this. So let me exit in here. I'm gonna stop sharing this computer, and I'll start sharing here. And now I'm gonna change. There we go. So we're all back in Fusion. All right, so now here's what we'll do. Let me find the Dragon Ball that I was telling you guys that we need to do. So let me find Dragon Ball. Oh. Or star. Let's go to images. So the one that I'm gonna download is like that one. Again, it doesn't matter. Like we'll do it very similarly, all of us. I'll say here, save image, and I'll bring it to downloads. It doesn't matter. All right, so now let's go up to Fusion. So I'm gonna go here, and then we'll click on this little button that's called Canvas. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll click there, then go to insert for my computer, and you go to downloads, or wherever you saved your picture, and you click open. And it's gonna ask you to select a plane, so I'm gonna select this one in there, and you see that the picture appears. Questions? Perfect. And just like for now, just click OK. So that's pretty cool. It literally brought the picture to life. Now, one thing that I came to realize just this week about Fusion is that whenever you bring a picture, right, you can actually scale it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to scale it in just. All right, so now that we got in the Dragon Ball, you can click here where it says canvases, right? Actually, not in here in the picture. And there's this little device that's called calibrate. And this one, I'm gonna tell you, I'm more of a user of another type of software that's called SolidWorks. It's a lot more difficult, but this one tool is pretty cool. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist in SolidWorks. So what does calibrate do? Let's click in calibrate. All right, let's click on this point. And I click on this point, and I can say, I want the diameter of this picture to be like 1. So it calibrates itself, which is like a pretty cool thing, honestly. Sometimes, I'll give you a real world example, right? There was a friend this week, a business student, I shall say. We don't like business students, and the business student comes to me with a gear, and he wanted the gear, like a 3D model of the gear, and I'm like, he was like, how do we do this? And I tell him, give me a coffee and I'll design the gear for you. So that's exactly what we did. And it's this exact same process. We brought a picture of the gear to like SolidWorks, and we traced it all out. Okay, so were you guys able to calibrate it to like some dimension that you guys want? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a sketch. So we'll click in this point, and we'll click on that plane, which is exactly where our picture is. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start drawing circles. So I'll draw first one circle that's gonna go all the way up to, I guess, the first circle. Then I'm gonna do another circle. Let's do something a little bit more complicated, which is now, once you've drawn your circles, we're gonna start drawing one of the stars, just one of them. So in my case, I'm gonna start drawing more or less this star like this. I'm gonna draw it just like that. So I'm just tracing out the picture, right? Let's go just like that. And excellent. Well, now, yes, we can do the rectangular pattern. You guys all go to create, then here rectangular. So now, yes, we'll select all of the sides in here. We'll do the star. So one way to do this, we can do 2 and 2. What I'm not exactly sure is just don't click enter. You see, it's gonna project itself. So what I'm gonna do is maybe, so 0.3 seems about right. Then I'm gonna put like negative 0.2. Yeah, so that seems about right. So you see, like I haven't clicked enter yet. I just wanna see how more or less it would look projected, which is if you look at into the little black lines. So these are how the stars would look like. So in my case, because I did it like it's a 1-inch sphere, so 0.3 seems to be approximately right. It's not exactly correct, but I think more or less that's the trick. So whenever you're like happy with more or less how the result would look like, just click OK. And you see that it created all of your stars. And when you're done, you can click on Finish Sketch. Now that we've done this, you see here in the picture, there's that little eye icon. So I can just click in that and it will disappear. That's pretty cool because everything that remains is now the sketches, right, that you guys have all done. But I think that's pretty cool because now we're gonna start giving this some volume. So the way to do this is that you click on extrude, and we can click, say, on like all of these areas. You just click like that. All of them? Yes, all of them. And then we can give it some amount, let's say 0.1, and say, okay. The next thing that we're gonna do is, if you guys go to where it says sketches, and you see there's a sketch one, in the eye icon, actually click on it. And now you'll see that it's being shown again. And the reason why we want to do that is because now we're gonna start a new sketch. So click in sketch, but click the top face of your guys's disk. So that's what we're gonna do now. And now I'm gonna show you one of my favorite commands of all time, which is if you go to create, then there's a command that's called project. So you're gonna project that line over from like the bottom sketch all the way to the top. So you'll click in project, and then you'll click in that line, like the outermost, like the innermost circle. And then you click OK. So what did it do? It brought like that line from the sketch in the bottom all the way to the top face. Does that make sense, that idea? Do you want me to go again, that thing, or do you guys understand? But once you do that, then what you could do is you can go to solid, then to extrude, and you can click in that, and I can say, all right, I want to remove some volume. So let's say I want to remove like 0.5. So now the next thing that we'll do is we're gonna go here to sketch, and we'll do a sketch now on the inner face of this thing. And let's start going here to create, project, and let's look for each one of those sides of our stars. And we're gonna project all of them here. Obviously, there's lots and lots of ways of achieving the same result, but I want to teach you this one because it's one technique that I learned when I was taking a product design class many years ago, from the guy that invented the Kindle, actually, which used to be a student here. Now you project all your stars, and we can give them some volume. Now, whenever you guys more or less reach this point, you can go here to where it says fillet, and you can just start filleting stuff. You can say, all right, I want that to be 105. The same thing with that. Oh, I'm gonna start selecting a few more. Oh. And I'm gonna fill it here. So now the next part is, do you guys have your logos? Do you guys want me to CAD a logo in particular? What is your guys' favorite brand of something? Oh, I know of one that I do not like, but it's very easy. It's the nemesis of my favorite brand of all time. Have you guys been to Atlanta by any chance? So Atlanta is a great city, and they're known for, they have a great factory of, that's not bad. I got the Pepsi logo. But you guys choose any, like, just grab your logo now. I'm gonna do Pepsi as an example. But the idea is that, say you have like the Nike one, right? You would CAD like the Nike arrow in the exact same way that we did with the Dragon Balls, and then we draw a circle around it. So all of us, we're gonna get like a, how big should we make them? Half an inch, 1 inch? It depends on here, the maestro. 1 inch, okay. I will make them 1 inch coins. How tall do you want them? We'll do good old Pepsi. I like blue personally. So let's click in here where it says new design. And now we'll do the exact same thing that we did before. We're gonna bring yet another picture. So I'm gonna bring mine in here. Very good. In the Pepsi one, what I can do is go here to canvas, then click in the Pepsi, oh, I escape. I'm gonna say calibrate, and I'm gonna make the distance from here to there be 1 inch. So I know that that circle has diameter, more or less 1 inch. Let me show you real quick how I would do this with your logos, because there's a chance that we might not have enough time today to do it all of us together. So let's give this a shot. So I'm gonna create a new sketch, and I'm gonna go here to the top plane, and I'm gonna here. This picture is not centered with respect to the origin, so I'm gonna try to eyeball it more or less. I think that that looks about right. You can draw a circle and then just move it a little bit. Yeah, so just draw a circle that approximately looks like that. I think another way to do a circle like this is if you go to circle, right? There's a fantastic command that allows you to do something that's called a 3-point circle. So I can say, all right, I know that this in here is a point in the circle. This in here is also another point in the circle. And this in here is also another point in the circle. So it creates you a circle that is in the air. Yeah, there's a fantastic tool that's called the spline, which is this one right here. So we can, for instance, on the Pepsi logo, what I can do is start tracing all of this like this. You just click a couple of points and it creates, I mean, mathematically speaking, I think it's fitting a polynomial to this thing, but you know, I could be wrong about that. All of this is math. I did study math, I don't. Which math? Like, like what type of math? All sorts of math. But probably not the math that you're studying now, which is probably harder than. And when you're done with your spline, you can click the check mark. So I'm going to do another spline in here. Very good. Oh. You see, I'm always clicking the escape command, and I'm used to doing it in SolidWorks. That I don't have to escape all the time. So hopefully you'll see that using the spline tool, that's essentially how I did the Hawaii map afterwards, because all of those contours on the map were also very curved. I had to use something like that. And it starts to look like pretty cool. Do you guys like Pepsi? I mean, I'll only drink it when it's like the only choice, right? Whenever. And it's not, normally it's not the only choice, but. You'd be a newbie to think it doesn't. Like
It's just weird.
it is sweeter. It's like an aberration. I don't like it. But dining halls here serve Pepsi, so I'm kind of. Okay, so I'm almost done with my own tracing here. I'm just gonna do yet one more circle. This 3-point circle in here. All right, so I'll stop here, and I wanna help you guys, and I'll continue once you guys are done. So yes, while you guys work on this, I'm gonna finish this logo. That way you guys have it on the computer. You guys have it on the video. That's how I did it. So like how do you go from this to a logo? It's very simple. I'll just start extruding again everything. So I'll select all of these areas. And I'm gonna say 0.25. Very good. And now I'm gonna show my sketch again. There we go. And I'm gonna go here to create. Actually, I'll do a sketch on the top face.
So start with basics.
I'll go here to project. I'm gonna project that in there. You say okay. Then solid. And I'm gonna bring it down by 0.1. That sounds about right. Actually, yeah, I'll bring it down by. I think that's it. Oh, there is a text tool. Yes, actually, let's use the text tool. I can go say to like the back side, right? And I can do a sketch. Oh, actually, well, I can do here like a sketch in here. And then, so the best thing to use the text tool is if you guys first draw a line. So it will prompt you to select like a, for instance, I'll show you like a cool way of doing it, right? Just do like a circle. And I'm gonna make this circle a construction geometry. So then where you go in create, you click in text. So create text, and then you can, I don't know, let's write Andy. Or let's write Coke is better than Pepsi. That is my personal message to the world, right? So you can say, you can determine the size of this thing. Then you can say whether you want that center, where, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Like, because you're gonna print like that. All right, 20, 24. And so you can select the font as well. And if you double click on the lettering, yes, you can change. For instance, one of my favorite fonts of all time is called Georgia, right? Georgia, because Georgia is a fantastic one. So let's see whether they have it here. They might, they do, actually. Look at that. Georgia, the state capital of Coke. And you can say, okay. And now what you can do is go here to solid, and then you can extrude. Oh. I can say negative 0.05. There you go. So now you can literally extrude cut the text into here. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue doing my Pepsi logo. So I'm gonna go here to that sketch. And I'm gonna project these guys.
You just click construction.
Right,
Okay, then you finish this, and then you do create. Then.
exactly, yes. I can do. There you go. So I did myself a little Coke sketch, Coke coin, Coke, Pepsi. When you're done, you guys will probably finish this over the week, right? So when you guys are done, just go here to File and then click in Export. So click on File, Export, and export this thing as a. Let's see if we can find it as an STL file. Well, actually, do they have step in here? I'm gonna ask you two things. When you guys are done with your thingy over the week, can you send me actually this one that's called step? So you'll yeah. So once you're done, just go here to File, Export, and then save it as a step file. And when you have your step file, send it to me by email. Would that be possible over the week?
Yes.
Where can I find this page?
Oh, I'll post it in YouTube.
What's in?
Oh, I'll send you an email later. Did you get my email from last week? Did you get my email this morning?
Go back to your sketch.
Could you write me your email address in the board?
I got an email from you before.
Okay, that's perfect. So let's do that. But I'll stop sharing for a moment because I want to share again this screen. Yeah, so just because I probably need to finish the class in a moment. If you have any questions over the week, email us. Like I'm always online, so I can help you guys with anything that you guys need. But get excited for 2 weeks from now. So Saturday of next week, we're not meeting because I have no idea what is going on. But 2 weeks from now, we're gonna design a fidget spinner together. Okay, now let me just go here to new design. I'm gonna bring again my picture. So the one I was using was this Airbus one. I'll save it here. Just one thing before you guys start doing your logo, we need to calibrate the size of this thing. Have you guys done it? So let's do it all together. So let's look at it from the top. So remember, go here to Canvas and click on well, first make sure that your units are, where is it? Here. Make sure that your units are in inches, and then go to your logo, right click and click on Calibrate. And I want to make, say, the distance between, let's be uber precise. I click on that point, click on this point. I want to make that 1 inch. There you go. So you guys can do that with whatever logo that you have. So say you're doing one that doesn't have a circle around it, make it slightly smaller. That way you can then do a circle around it that is 1 inch. So if you have like a chess piece, make it like 0.8 inches. And then, yeah, so that being said, I'm gonna start doing stuff in here real quick. So I'll make the 3 points. Three-point circle. The chances are that if you've ever flown in the US, you've flown on an A320, which is a beautiful plane, one of my favorites. So now the tool that we're going to use is this one that I think you guys have already started using it, which is called spline. So spline is like a free drawing thing. So I can just click on, say, this point and just start drawing all of these curves. And what I like about this logo is that there's a lot of symmetry. So we can make use of that in just a moment. But for now, I'm just gonna follow this path all the way up to there. Accidentally escape. There we go. I'm gonna do yet another spline. Has anybody here been to Texas by any chance? Just a random question, because I'm gonna design afterwards in my free time a logo of one of the most beloved brands in Texas, which is called Buc-ee's. If you've ever heard of that before. So I'll make another video afterwards related to that. You see, MIT, their mascot is a beaver. And they're, for this one Texan institution, it's also a beaver. It's a very friendly beaver. Quick save. One cool thing about the splines as you draw them is that you can also modify a little bit like the tangency, right? By looking into like these yellow lines. So you can modify, how curved it is. So you can always go back and make any modifications. I'm just gonna continue like this. I'm not gonna lie, every time I'm doing like modeling like this, it's a very relaxing activity. Like clears my mind. That's about right. Okay. Yeah, you will have it in the video to see how I did the Airbus logo, but I think that looks pretty decent in there. I'm just gonna hide. So now this one for me is actually super easy the way I'm gonna do it because I can just go here to extrude. I can select all of the areas and bring it up by say 0.25. There's a couple of things that might not be quite okay. And then I can go back to the sketch, then show back in this sketch in here. And now what I can do is go here to project, and I can project all of these lines again. Four, five. Yeah, that looks. Oh, there it is. There we go. It's a visual, and I think I should be able to extrude this area downwards by some amount. That looks decent. Then one last thing that you guys can do is you can also add like your name if you want. So to add your name in like your coin, just go to like the back side of this thing, for instance, right? And let's draw maybe like a construction circle. Actually, I'm gonna go here to where it says offset entities, and I'll select that. I will flip the offset. I wanna make it say 0.1 or 15. I'll click on that circle, I'll make it construction. You can go to create, then add text. I can say service is better than boring. Wow. I don't know what happened here, but I will say it does look pretty cool. I just did it. There we go. I was just trying to do an extrusion. Let's show that sketch again. Let's just do. There's a takeaway from today is probably this message in there, but you know, that is just me because I'm a little bit biased. All right. Hi, folks, again. Welcome back to this classroom, which is a part of my office. So as promised, I just wanted to add one last thing for today's video, which is taking one of the logos, which is what we're doing throughout today's session, but trying to make it a little bit more complicated. So that being said, let me share my screen and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. So I'm going to share my screen and let me go here over to Fusion. And if we go over here, I want to cut this logo. Oh, okay, let me just minimize my screen. There we go. So I want to cut this one logo, and that is, if you've ever been to Texas, well, you probably encountered, I believe this is a beaver. I'm not really sure what animal it is, but this one is, it belongs to Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's is a very famous brand that exists. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna take this logo. I already saved this picture. And I'm gonna take it down to Fusion and we're gonna make a model. And you see it has a lot more details than you would expect. So it's very similar to the approach that we have already seen. But I just wanna, show you how we do it. Probably I'll start speeding up the video from now onward. So feel free to like stop it if you wanna see delicately how I've done it. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
がどっさりこの世のどこかで光ってるそいつにつけに行こうぜボーイ妖怪変でもぶっ飛ばし雲のマシンで今日も飛ぶのさレースファイファイファイまか不思議空を駆け抜け山を越えレースファイファイファイ大冒険不思議な旅が始まるぜ手に入れろドラゴンボール世界で一等手強いジャック追いかけろドラゴンボール世界で一等生かしたドラマこの世はでっかい宝島そうさ今こそアドベンチャ体いっぱい勇気びっしり瞳いっぱい笑顔にっこり僕は無邪気な挑戦者だけどパワーは半端じゃないぜじゃんけんパンチにカメハメハどんな敵でもかないはしないレースファイファイファイまか不思議虹のブリーチくぐり抜けレースファイファイファイ大冒険不思議な夢を見に行こう掴もうぜドラゴンボール世界で一等するな秘密探そうぜドラゴンボール世界で一等愉快な奇跡この世はでっかい宝島そうさ今こそアドベンチャー掴もうぜドラゴンボール世界で一等するな秘密探そうぜドラゴンボール世界で一等愉快な奇跡この世はでっかい宝島そうさ今こそアドベンチャ
光る雲突き抜け Fly away 体中に広がるパノラマ顔を蹴られた地球が起こって火山を爆発させる溶けた氷の中に恐竜がいたら玉乗りしこみたいねチャラヘチャラ何が起きても気分はへのへのかったチャラヘチャラ胸がバチバチするほど騒ぐ元気だなサキュー空を急行風とコースター落ちてゆくよ しき逆さになると愉快さ山さえお尻に見える悩む時間はないよどこかに潜むびっくりに会いたいからチャラヘチャラ頭から棒の方が夢詰め込めるチャラヘチャラ笑顔ウルトラ Z で今日もあいあいあいあいチャラヘチャラ何が起きても気分はヘロヘロカッパチャラヘチャラ胸がパチパチするほど騒ぐ元気だなファッキーはちゃめちゃが押し寄せてくる泣いてる場合じゃないワクワクを100倍にしてパーティーの主役になろう夢中になれるものがいつか君をすごいやつにするんだの天日間空は晴れていっぱいおっぱい僕元気トラブルと遊べやんちゃボーイ We got power ドラゴンボールびっくりの塊を蹴り未来へゴールさせろヘチャラの花を咲かせてみんなを笑わせちゃえいたずら好きな君が夢を競うライバルになるのさローテンピカ頭さえてラーメン6杯母の浮世紀末はしゃげお茶目ガール We got power ドラゴンボール
Well, all right, folks, here we got it. I think I'm pretty satisfied with the overall results. I think it looks pretty much like Bucky. I wish there were more colors in Fusion, but you know, that being said, it does look pretty nice. So, well, thank you for staying along, and I hope this was useful to all of you. Bye bye. Hey, folks, welcome back. I guess I just wanted to give you a very detailed step-by-step view on how we would CAD the topographical map, or this case of Hawaii. So that being said, let's get started. Let's do it. So let me share my screen right now. We are right here. Let me go to the virtual machine. And in particular, what I had in mind was this map. So I just already downloaded this. So we're going to bring it over to Fusion and we're going to start making a 3D model of this thing. And hopefully it's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to first minimize my screen. There we go. And now, yes, let's go down to Fusion. So it's a super easy process because all it takes is going here down to Canvas, as we saw earlier. And I'm gonna go here and search for my computer. And I have Hawaiian. I just imported it a moment ago. So I'm gonna open it here. I'll choose this plane. And here I can just orbit to see how this would look like. I guess for now, I'm not gonna worry too much about the dimensions. So I'm just gonna bring in whatever they say it is. And I'll say, okay. So now that we are here, I'm gonna go here to sketch. I'm gonna choose the top plane. So it's the exact same plane where we have our picture right now. I like the level of transparency too, because it helps us a little bit. This is actually one way in which a software like Fusion, it's a little bit better than a software, say, like SolidWorks in terms of what we're gonna be working on right now. So more specifically, what I'll start doing right now is I'm gonna use the spline tool. I'm gonna start tracing pretty much every single line that I see in this space. And then I'm gonna exit the sketch, and then I'm gonna start building layer by layer. So let's get started. It might be a tedious process, so probably from now onwards, I'll probably speed up the video. So yeah, let's go ahead.
夢中になれるものがいつか君をすげやつにするんだのでいいか空は晴れていっぱいおっぱい僕元気トラブルと遊べやんちゃボーイドラゴンボールぜ
た顔も疲れてる君も好きだけどあんな
きて大丈夫かなと思う僕は何気ない仕草に振り回されてるしサイドブルーそれでもあいつに夢中なのもっと聞きたいことがあったのに二人の会話が車の音に阻まれて通りに舞うよだんだん心惹かれて口踏んでも不思議なんだけど何かあるとすぐに君に電話したくなる全然気のないふりしても結局君のことだけ見てた海の彼方へ飛び出そうよ Oh my heartドッカンついてるドッカンパラダイス元気玉が弾け飛ぶぜ Go Go Let's beat うごめく怪しいエナジー容赦はしないぜ見てろよ命に変えても守るよ愛する勇気を強さに変えろやり抜く気合でピンチを越え
Well, all right. I think we are done creating all of these sketches. So the last thing that I wanted to do is just renaming all of those, the different sketches. So we know, for instance, this one right there corresponds to the 9,000 feet elevation. And something pretty cool in here that we can do is that I actually want to do really quickly a sketch or really a line. Because we know that according to the map, this distance in here is 5 miles, for instance, right? So what exactly is this distance? I'm going to use this line to measure it, and it's 0.04 inches. All right. So let's do some math, right? Let's go up here. And the math that I want to do is the following one. So we know how many feet is 1 mile, right? So we know that 1,000 feet is that amount of miles, and then we know that 1 mile is equal to 0.04. So I'm just gonna say that this times 0.04. So in other words, every single layer that we need to do, which is 1,000 feet, has to be 0.0076 dollars. I mean, that's just a number to bear in mind. We're gonna just leave it. That being said, I mean, I'm gonna finish the sketch. There we go. So we are actually I didn't need that sketch. I can get rid of it. Very good. So now let's start building each one of these layers. So how are we gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna go first to say the ground layer, and I can just click extrude. I'm gonna select all of that profile right there. And I'm gonna say, what did we say in here? 0.0076. Very good. Let's see how that would that look like. Very nice. So now we got that ground layer about there. It looks pretty nice. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you guys something new, which is I'm gonna go here to sketch, and I'm gonna create a new sketch here on this top layer. And the reason why I'm doing that is because now I'm gonna go here to create, then to where it says project, and I wanna project this entire. So you'll see in a moment what exactly this means. In other words, I just brought that entire line that was originally on the lower level all the way up to this working level in here. So having done that, I can now go to extrude and select, well, not that, the interior, right? And I can say again, I want that to be 0.076. And voila. Now we have our next layer of the cake. So with each one of the layers that I'm doing, I'm going to go hiding them, right? So now let's do the next layer. So let's do layer 2. So go here back to create, project, and I select all of this line there. Very good. I believe it will work. Actually, I don't think it did. Let me just do Control C, let's do it again. Project. What are we looking at? Maybe I should look at it from the top level. Excellent. Good. So now, yes, we do have this layer in here. So solid. And I'm going to select the interior. Let's say 0.076. Excellent. And now I'm going to hide it. So now I'll probably speed this up for a moment. That way you don't need to hear me say all of this stuff over and over again. But you see how we are slowly going to build up every layer. And you see the scales seem to be matching up quite nicely, given what we just saw there. So let's go ahead and do that. So we are pretty much done. I guess one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show the picture again. And probably what I want to do is perhaps do one last sketch here on the bottom plane. And just do a little rectangle that more or less encapsulates this picture just like that. Huh? And we're going to give it some height. But backwards. Maybe let's do 8.1. And now yes, I'm going to hide the picture of our sketches. And voila, there we got a model of the big island of Hawaii. Well, one thing that we could completely do right now is I'm just going to go here to appearance. And I have it all the way right in here. And I'm going to add a couple of colors. So I'll say bodies, I'll make everything green. Let's see what do we have green. Oh, glass, we got paint. Okay, let's get paint. Is that it like that? And now let's do blue. And for blue, I'll do faces. So let's see what exactly we got. How to do that face. And yes, I could theoretically, add it there. Oh, add it here. Add it here. Add it there. Very good. And now, yes, there we go. Our big island. Hawaii. Maybe I might make this into a circle instead of I might like that a little bit better. But yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching this video. And see you next time. Hopefully you learned something new. Many of these commands are very similar to another one that I use in SolidWorks very often, which is called not offset entities, convert entities. So you see, like, Fusion can be still a very powerful software, right, to design very cool stuff like this one. So again, thank you very much.